You are here because something inside you is restless, quietly asking whether life can truly change or whether days are meant to repeat themselves in familiar patterns of hope and disappointment. Most people search outside for answers, chasing new strategies, harder work, or better timing, yet they overlook the most powerful force shaping their reality, the words they silently accept as truth. Every sentence you repeat becomes an instruction to your mind, and your mind faithfully follows those instructions without argument. This is why one simple sentence, spoken with awareness, can begin a chain reaction that touches energy, emotion, and eventually circumstances. When you say that everything in your life is unfolding in the best possible way, you are not pretending, you are choosing a direction for your inner compass. At first, nothing seems different, and that is exactly where many people quit, because change rarely announces itself loudly. Instead, it begins quietly, adjusting the way you feel when you wake up, softening resistance, and loosening the grip of fear you did not even realize you were carrying. Your energy responds before your logic does, and that shift is subtle but powerful. Over time, this sentence starts interrupting old mental habits that once told you that life was unfair or that success belonged to others. Each repetition becomes a reminder that you are not fighting life, you are cooperating with it. This cooperation creates calm, and calm sharpens perception, allowing you to notice opportunities you previously ignored. You start responding rather than reacting, trusting rather than forcing, and this inner alignment slowly reflects outward. People often underestimate how much their reality mirrors their dominant emotional state, yet the mirror never lies. When your inner language changes, the reflection must eventually change as well. However, there is a moment in this process that feels uncomfortable, even confusing, because the old patterns resist being replaced. This resistance is not failure, it is evidence that something deep is being reorganized. The mind tests your commitment by offering doubt, reminding you of past disappointments, and questioning whether words can truly matter. This is where patience becomes essential, because consistency carries more power than intensity. Saying the sentence once with excitement does little, but saying it again and again, even on ordinary days, builds a new rhythm within you. That rhythm begins to influence how you speak, how you decide, and how you imagine your future. Without realizing it, you start expecting support instead of struggle, flow instead of conflict, and this expectation becomes the seed of a different life. It prepares you for the deeper realization that the outer world always follows the inner agreement you hold with yourself, and this agreement is rewritten through repetition. Long before visible results appear, your patience is shaping character, your belief is stabilizing, and your awareness is expanding. These unseen shifts are not delays, they are foundations, and without them lasting change would collapse under pressure. That process quietly sets the stage for everything that follows next. As the days pass and the repetition continues, something unusual begins to surface, a quiet moment where you realize the sentence no longer feels foreign. It starts to feel natural, almost inevitable, as if it has always belonged to you. This is where the real transformation moves beneath the surface, beyond motivation and into identity. Your mind begins filtering experiences differently, no longer magnifying obstacles, but scanning for meaning, growth, and alignment. Small events that once felt random begin to carry significance, and you sense that life is responding, not dramatically yet, but deliberately. Then comes the phase that many are not prepared for, the moment when circumstances seem to challenge your new belief. A delay appears, an unexpected problem arises, or an old fear resurfaces with surprising intensity. This is not coincidence, and it is not punishment, it is a test of internal consistency. The sentence you repeat is now asking whether you trust it only when life feels smooth, or whether you can hold it steady when uncertainty knocks. Suspense builds here, because this is the crossroads where many people unknowingly turn back. The mind whispers that nothing is changing, that the effort is pointless, that reality is proving the sentence wrong. Yet this is the precise moment when persistence becomes power. When you continue repeating the sentence during doubt, it begins rewiring emotional reflexes rather than surface thoughts. You stop needing proof before belief, and belief starts shaping proof instead. Something subtle but profound happens. Your nervous system relaxes in situations that once triggered anxiety. That relaxation alters your tone, your posture, your decisions, and people respond differently without knowing why. Opportunities begin to appear through conversations, timing improves, and solutions arrive from unexpected directions. It feels mysterious, almost unreal, because you did not force any of it. This is where many people finally understand that effort alone never created miracles, alignment did. The sentence becomes more than words, it becomes a lens through which you interpret reality. Even setbacks lose their sting because you sense they are rearranging something in your favor. This perception keeps your energy clean, free from bitterness and urgency. With clean energy, actions become more effective, choices clearer, and intuition sharper. You begin trusting pauses instead of fearing them, and this trust keeps you moving forward without exhaustion. The suspense dissolves into clarity as you realize the outer world is slowly reorganizing itself around your inner agreement. Nothing magical appears overnight, yet everything feels guided, intentional, and supportive. You no longer feel alone against life, but carried within it. This is when the sentence stops being a practice and becomes a state of being. From this state, new possibilities feel accessible rather than distant, and your sense of timing becomes refined. You start recognizing that the greatest changes are not loud revolutions, but silent shifts that make the impossible feel natural. This awareness prepares you for the final stage of transformation, where belief turns into lived experience. When belief finally settles into lived experience, you notice that life no longer feels like something you must battle or convince. Instead, it unfolds with a quiet intelligence, responding to the tone you consistently hold within yourself. The sentence you once repeated deliberately now moves through you automatically, shaping your reactions before fear has a chance to interfere. You realize that circumstances did not change because you demanded them to, but because you changed the way you met them. This shift brings a deep sense of responsibility, not as pressure, but as freedom, because you understand that your inner agreement is always setting the direction. Challenges still appear, yet they no longer carry the weight of final judgment. They feel temporary, instructive, and often necessary. You begin seeing how moments of delay protected you, how rejections redirected you, and how patience refined your vision. This awareness dissolves resentment and replaces it with gratitude, even for experiences that once felt painful. Gratitude strengthens the energy you are broadcasting, and that energy quietly attracts cooperation from people, situations, and timing. Life starts meeting you halfway, not because it owes you anything, but because you are aligned with its movement. You feel calmer making decisions, less desperate for outcomes, and more confident in following intuition. This confidence is not loud or arrogant. It is grounded and steady, rooted in trust rather than control. Over time, the accumulation of these inner choices reshapes your external reality in ways that feel almost effortless. You notice progress where there was stagnation, clarity where there was confusion, and support where there was once resistance. The most surprising part is that others may comment on how lucky you seem, unaware that luck is often the visible result of sustained inner harmony. You understand now that words are not merely sounds, they are commands shaping perception, emotion, and expectation. By choosing your words carefully, you chose your direction. This realization carries a quiet power because it means the process is repeatable, expandable, and always available to you. No matter where you start, the same principle applies. Consistency creates alignment, and alignment creates results. The sentence that guided you becomes a reminder that life is responsive, not random, and that your participation matters deeply. You no longer seek dramatic proof, because peace itself has become evidence of transformation. From this place, growth feels natural rather than forced, and ambition feels inspired rather than exhausting. You recognize that true change was never about manipulating circumstances, but about stabilizing belief. As you continue forward, this understanding stays with you, influencing how you speak, think, and imagine what is possible. It becomes clear that when inner order is established, outer order eventually follows without struggle. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.